What's going on YouTube? This is Ross's Reef bringing you an update of the Nuvo Fusion 20-gallon reef tank. This week's video that I'm doing right now is on Copepods. Right now I have an outbreak of Copepods. I don't know if you can see on the glass right there we go. Tons and tons and just tons of Copepods. All those little white dots all over the glass, Copepods. I started out this tank by dosing one batch of Tiger pods, I believe they were called. I wasn't quite sure if they took or not, and then all of a sudden one day I just saw a bunch of them on the glass, and then more and more and more. There's plenty of space in the rock. It's very porous for them to reproduce and stay in, as well due to the fact that I do have this hang on the back refugium back here where they can safely reproduce. I do believe that's partially the reason to my success with how many copepods I have in this tank. It's almost getting to be an annoyance just how many there are. As you can see, there's just tons of little white dots, and then whenever I'm sitting like right up against the tank trying to look in, all I see is white dots all over the glass. I do have a green mandarin in the tank to feed on the copepods. There he is right there. This little guy has all the food he could ever possibly want in this tank. There is no doubt in my mind that this guy will ever deplete the amount of copepods that are in this tank. I even thought about getting another small dragonette just because the abundance of copepods I have in here is just overwhelming. I even scraped the glass one day to clean them all off, and then 2 days later it's right back to this. So hopefully he actually kind of brings down the population a little bit, but I don't ever think he'll totally deplete the copepod population in this tank. Copepods are very good for feeding mandarins. That is their main diet. That's what they mainly eat, is these little tiny bugs. Some people believe that these copepods help defeat detritus on the microscopic level. They go around eating tiny bits of detritus. Copepods are also good for every other type of fish. They'll all nip at them and eat at them. I do have this nice little booklet right here. Let's see if you can see Superior Feeds for Vibrant Reefs. It's got tons of different products. I did use the trigger pods right there. This is a chart that basically shows which types of trigger pods, Arctic pods, or any other different foods that different corals and fish will eat. As you can see, the trigger pods right here, every single fish eats them. From all the way to tangs, to jawfish, to dragonette mandarins, which I have in there, and clownfish, dwarf angels, they'll all just pick at the trigger pods. So it does make a nice little feast for all your fish to snack on if they want. But like I said, mainly people do put copepods in a tank for green mandarins and dragonette gobies, which that does consist of 99% of their meal. Some mandarins can be adapted to eat mysis shrimp. I have heard of it. I have never personally had any luck doing this, but if you have an abundance of copepods like this, keeping a mandarin in your tank should not be a problem. Just make sure that you do have a spot in your tank, like a refugium, to where the copepods can safely reproduce, because these little guys do eat a lot. Even though I'm very positive he will not deplete this source, there is always that chance that he could just be an avid hunter and totally clear out the copepod population of the tank. But due to the fact that I have the refugium, he cannot get back there, so it is a safe haven for them to reproduce and slowly get introduced back into the tank. So this has been Ross's Reef, signing off. If y'all have any questions, comments, or concerns, please comment below. I will get back to them as soon as I can. I know I answered a few people's questions on some previous videos. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. I'll be doing constant updates, sometimes at least one a week, sometimes more, of the tank, any new corals I get, any new fish, or any just new equipment, or any product reviews I do. So this has been Ross's Reef, signing off.